Time now for the Peter Channel Morning News on this Wednesday morning, July 20th, 2016. Good morning to you all on this lovely Wednesday morning, 20th of July, 2016 at 8 a.m. Here are your news and odds, and our top story is Cleveland, where Donald Trump clipped the Republican nomination on Tuesday after finding the establishment with his unorthodox campaign, but his convention is also exposing the downside of this freewheeling approach. A prominent Belarusian journalist was killed in the Ukrainian capital Kiev Wednesday in a car exploded to the country's top online news website. Ukrainia Pravda said its journalist 44-year-old Pavel Shumer died. Ron Howard has added his own tribute to the heads that have been reported in for Gary Marshall, legendary TV movie producer and director who died Tuesday at the age of 81. A driver has smashed into the police car while playing Pokemon Go into the wheel. An officer's body camera caught the moment in the tree and ran for a clipped the oncoming patrol car in Baltimore, Maryland, early on Monday. 3 French soldiers have died in Libya after their helicopter was shut down. President Francois Hollande said that soldiers were killed while carrying out a dangerous intelligence operation, Mr. Hollande said. For all the series of racial defensive tweets, many of them criticized their appearance. The Ghostbusters star 42 tweeted and defend herself as Dan Aykroyd compares Lizzie Joyce's haters with Trump supporters. There is a lot of white racist hatred out there. Beijing to the challenge facing KFC and Apple in China added a surprise backlash with a Beijing spat with the Philippines over the South China Sea. Soldiers sent to the emperor and Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan during the last week's failed coup attempt were told that they were to capture the reported terrorist leader according to the country's state-related dual agency. The UK's relinquished upcoming 6-month presidency and the European Council as it prepares to leave the EU. The announcement from number 10 came as Theresa May prepares to meet her German counterpart Angela Merkel for the first time since becoming. A Turkish parliament security man stands guard next to the bulky yellow cup doors laid out the ground in the entrance of the assembly hall at the parliament building, which was attacked by the Turkish warplanes during a failed military coup. In Ankara, Turkey, the Turkish government under President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has arrested, fired, or suspended more than 50,000 people in its post-coup crackdown. London, Britain's new foreign minister Boris Johnson was forced to defend numerous insults that he had previously made at world leaders at his first press conference. Gavin Long, the man who shot 6 law enforcement officers Sunday in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, killed 3, suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, source involved in the investigation told CNN and Chris Cuomo. Chris Christie, the New Jersey governor, took the stage during the second day of Republican convention Cleveland and perhaps made to remind the audience that he believes he should have been the vice presidential nominee. Chicago children fall victim to more gang-related shootings. For Mike Pence, Donald Trump's vice president pick, if it all started with a golf game over the July 4th holiday weekend. Trump invited the Indiana governor to his New Jersey golf club, started the rest of speculation Pence could be high up on the vice presidency. Cleveland, Make America First Again will be the RNC's theme on Wednesday when politicians include GOP candidate for Mike Pence, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz will speak. On to Texas, a police dog in North Texas died Tuesday from apparent heat exhaustion in the pursuit of a suspect, police said. Roger Ailes negotiated departure as chairman of Fox News. In Matty Rahman, Pacific Investment Management Company may have found the top turnaround expression for the giant U.S. bond manager had been looking for. Asian stocks trended the mixed performance yet again and never followed oil prices overnight. IMF's modest downgrade and the forecast of global growth kept investors on edge. The U.S. government is close to challenging 2 proposed mergers between 4 of the nation's largest self-insurance companies, according to the people familiar with the matter, and what would be to represent a strong pushback against consolidation in the industry. Melbourne, Austrian mining and energy company BHP built its ready to pass and acquire U.S. assets once conditions improve for energy prices. Edinburgh, Scotland, the Scottish company has shown signs that startup adversary from the exit from the European Union hanging on momentum. Minister said, Cleveland, labor growth in Ohio, the state's hosted the Republican nomination convention its parts and thanks to expansion in natural gas industry leader said. Los Angeles, Doll Shave Co. alumna, subscription online razor toiletry service that sold to Unilever for reported $1 million. Now on 25.96 and 18.559.01, SP 5 at 2163.78 and NASDAQ 5,036.37. Check the CI's open pots and melt water. Seen over the Tricky Sea on Sunday as these feuds record melt is a problem for everybody. Archaeologists have discovered evidence as to how the first generations of Europeans and the Americans were mingled with the indigenous population. They came as a wave, some 150 to 200 billion-headed whales traded into the head, whereas head made like a sigma was a strange sight for the quiet islanders behold. NASA chose 5 companies to develop a new concept of the Mars orbiter that can be built in time for the mission in 2020. Washington University Biomedical Energy PhD student Ali Watson, Farsha Golak A. Professor of immune research shows a continuum with a prototype of limited hip replacement. The vaccine primes the body's immune system by presenting the bacteria's infectious system as helps to develop immunity against a full-blown chlamydia infection. 8 different diabetes drug classes examined and meta-analysts failed to demonstrate improved cardiovascular all-cause mortality compared with a placebo. Cleveland, a terrifying word circulated Tuesday in the Republican National Convention North a dozen steps in a California delegation who arrived in Cleveland had earlier fallen ill with an extremely contagious virus. Republicans in the convention all Tuesday not June the former news surgeon Ben Carson speculated about the Democrats' Satanic Alliance. Decades before his running about to include a Republican ticket, he was a loudmouth local upstart known simply as a Donald. Cleveland Latino groups and leaders were criticized Republicans first stated at the political convention. Hillary Clinton spent 2 days in New York finalizing a decision to run debate before formally introducing the Democratic ticket during a weekend campaign speaking in Florida, according to several Democrats familiar. Take a look at local news. Not necessarily easy, that forward phrase is William Murray is short and simple part of the proposal. Doug's president of Alabama Wednesday, the rest of it short and simple. His marriage proposal Tuesday to girlfriend in 10 years. Many down in the North involved 30 to 35 people who was Mr. Clinton's Greyhawk was at a full fact French bomb. She couldn't possibly say no, but that's the end of the story. First subverge. Alabama temperatures were in the 80s and it was humid on Tuesday, but U.S. President Joseph Kennedy III took off his suit jacket to play soccer with the children at the Balfour Riverwalk. Hull, Massachusetts. A Hull man who called the police to report a break-in his home was arrested after officers discovered what they called explosive device in the house. Cameron Butler is scheduled to be arraigned Wednesday in the Hidden District Court of possession of explosive device, possession of among servants, and disturbing the peace. Chief Robert Sawtell said officers went to the 26-year-old Butler's home Tuesday after they called and reported that a safe contained cash had been sold from his home and that the vehicle was missing. Baltimore, Massachusetts on Cape Cod. Man convicted in his charge he invaded home with his girlfriend's friends and attacked one woman and annexed his head into prison. Peter Children's time is now 8:07 on this Wednesday, and then it's time now for a sports report on this Wednesday morning, where the Boston Red Sox break the San Francisco Giants 4-0. Sox and the Giants square up at 7:10 p.m. at Fenway Park. During Tuesday's Republican National Convention, a quick loads arena in Cleveland, the longtime UFC president had a large national television audience to make his case to the Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump as meant to get those. Mark went to find his first beginning when it insisted but a big UFC decision should be discussed in athletes first. Arizona Cardinals will reportedly meet with quarterback Chris Culver. Peter Children's time is now 8:08 on this Wednesday morning, and it's time now for a traffic and transit report. Take a look at MBTA's first subway system. It's looking good on the commuter rail forever. Worcester train 510, 730 from Worcester is operating 10-50 minutes beyond schedule between Southburg and South Station. Worcester train 508 is operating 35-40 minutes beyond schedule between Southburg and South Station. Worcester train 505, 7:15 a.m. from South Station operating 20 minutes beyond schedule between Fairmont and Worcester due to train traffic. But all the other lines are looking good on the ferries. They are looking good. Take a look at highways where the highways and byways in New York City are slow. Merritt Parkway is southbound side back there for Bridgeport to Stamford. 95 is southbound side. It is back there for Bridgeport to Greenwich. 95 is northbound side. It's back there for 287 to Greenwich. 95 on the northbound side. It is backed up from Milford to New Haven. Merritt Parkway westbound side. It is backed up from Waterbury all the way after Newtown, Connecticut. IE4 eastbound side. Also Waterbury after Route 8. IE4 eastbound side is back there for Bristol to Britain and then hit Biscuit through the Hartford area stretch. 91 on the southbound side, it is so from Winslow to downtown Hartford. 91 on the northbound side, it is backed up at Middletown to downtown Hartford. Route 2 on westbound side, also before IE4 downtown Hartford, Connecticut. Out in Rhode Island, 95 on the southbound side, is backed up for protected downtown Providence. 146 on the southbound side, it is so from 50 to Route 95. 95 at the not bad side. It is backed up for 37. Walk right to data about it. 295 at the stop bad side. Also at Route 6 outed. Johnson and 146 at the stop bad side. Sold before Route 295. Lincoln 95 at the not bad side. 99 not bad side is backed up from 146 to Route 99 out in Lincoln with the second stretch. 485 is not bad side. It is backed up from 44 in Midway all get to Route 24 in Raynham. 24 on the not bad side is backed around 44 in Raynham. 95 on the not bad side. It is sold for Route 1 in Sharon all get to Route 128 Captain. Route 24 on the not bad side. Also for 120 in Captain. Route 3 on the not bad side. It is sold from 18 away by 5 to Bay Tree Split. 128 on the not bad side. It is backed up from 24 to Route 3. 128 backed up from 95 and kept it all the way up in the Waltham. 128 on the not bad side. Also on Route 95 in Peabody. 128 is that bad side. It is backed up from Linfield all the way up to Waltham. South Expressway. Both ends sold for Boston to Braintree. 93 both ends is sold for Boston to Braintree. 93 is that bad side. It is sold for Bedford all the way to Zakin Bridge. 93 not bad side sold for Bedford all the way out to Route 128 in Reading. 495 on the not bad side. It is backed up from 85 and Milford all the way out to Route Massachusetts Turnpike out in Westbrook. 290 eastbound side. Also Worcester Stretch. Massachusetts eastbound side sold for Brayham all the way out to Newton. Mass back to the westbound side is backed up for Newton Corner. 91 on the northbound side. It is backed up for 57 to 291 in Springfield. 290 in eastbound side. Also at Route 9 in Worcester. Route 3 that's southbound side. Also after Route 9 side is backed up after 45 up in Lowell. 485 on the northbound side. Also the Lowell stretch at Route 3. 485 on the northbound side is backed around Route 2 in Walton. 485 on the southbound side. So from 28 to Route 93 up in Andover. 93 on the southbound side. Also at 213 in Andover. Up in nominal in 99, southbound side. This one, I-93 out of the Concord, Hampshire. But Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine highways out London Gaydon. And 101 on the westbound side. Lost up to every trip back up in Manchester, New Hampshire. Peter Cello News Time is now 8:12 on this beautiful Wednesday morning. It's time now for a weather report. Friday day, Saturday skies have about 84 degrees. North first about 5 to 9 miles an hour. For tonight, clear skies about 56 degrees. Light variable wind. For Thursday, mostly sunny sky about 80 degrees. Light west wind back and southwest with 5 to 9 miles in the morning. Thursday, most clear sky about 60 degrees. And southwest about 5 to 7 miles. For Friday, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. Most sunny sky 89 degrees. Southwest about 7 to 13 miles. Gusts 25 miles an hour. Chance of 20%. Friday night, chance of showers and thunderstorms before 2 and then a slight chance of showers. Most skies got a little bit 70 degrees, chance of 40%. For Saturday, most of the podcast about 91, about 68 degrees. Sunday, most skies got about 83 degrees. Saturday night, chance of showers at midnight. Most skies got about 69 degrees and chance of 40%. For Monday, 4% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Parts of the most skies about 89, about 69 degrees. And for Tuesday, 30% chance of showers. Parts of the skies about 86 degrees. Currently not near, it is clear skies and it's 65 degrees, a humidity of 80%, and that is going to be it for the Peter Channel Morning News on this July 20th, 2016 on a Wednesday. I'm Peter Wissy. Have a good morning with good positive attitude. Have a good day.